so this one is a controller which I use for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, which is the TCA Sidestick Airbus Edition from Thrustmaster. So Thrustmaster produced a generic joystick called T.16000. I didn't show it here, but that joystick is quite popular because it's quite an entry level. Not that entry level, but it's quite nice. Not that expensive, but it can be used for a generic flight simulator. You can use it for flight sim, space sim. Yeah, so it's version T16000M, if I'm mistaken. It's a bit with orange, black, and with orange accent. Here is a similar product, actually the same product actually, with the T16000, but with different buttons, I guess, and color. The color is the blue, marine blue kind of finish that is similar to the Airbus cockpit color. And I think, but the base button configuration, even this throttle mechanism is still the same, except for this upper button stick is different. They have more a bit, I think, but this one has more limited. And this is customized like the looks of the Airbus side stick, except for this head switch. Of course, they don't have this head switch, so there's a flat panels only here cover. But they do have this autopilot disengage, and I don't know what this for, but I think they don't have it, or this one is an extra button. But the good thing is that this is ambidextrous. This one is for left side. Okay, I'm using a pilot seat anyway, so this is a left side configurations where the autopilot engage disengage button here. However, if you wish to do a co-pilot side or first officer side on the right side, you can I think there is a bolt-on screw. I think this one can, I forget how to open this one. I think you can dismantle and convert it. They provide two sets of the switch. This one is for the left configurations. The other one is for right configuration, where the autopilot is here, the red button, and this black button is here. So you can configure this. I think you have to unscrew this two screw here, and then you can detach these two left and right buttons. Okay, so you can swap it with. There's another one, so it's not this one. They use a different, I think, different buttons provided for the right side. Okay, so it's ambidextrous, so you can put it on the right side, you can put it on the left side. Actually, this is a good option for a space sim where you can buy two of this and then configure one for the left side, one for the right side. I think for the T16000 version also they can do that, except they don't have the swappable button. Okay, so the number of buttons is actually not much. Only 12 buttons below, like this. This almost like yeah, this is 6 plus 6, so it's 12 buttons left and right here, and then one more button here in with the virtual button they call it. So once you reach 20% below, it's the switch is active. Okay, so it's, I think it's to denote, for example, for reversers on the airliner. So you can use the switch. Let's say you go past beyond this marking. There's a marking here, 20% marking. When you pass that 20% marking, there's an activated virtual switch that can denote that is the reversers activated. Okay, the airliners like Airbus A3 A320neo, for example, they have a reversers, right? Or 737 or whatever. Every airline have reversers, so you can use this to activate the reversers. But since you bought this not for, if you are a serious simmer, you don't use this for throttle, right? You use a throttle quadrant to control your throttle. So yeah, I didn't review the throttle yet, so I bought this in a package called the TCA side stick or TCA Airbus First Officer pack, if I'm mistaken. Yeah, so they provide this one and with the throttle quadrant, only 2 engine though. But you can expand to 4 engine kind of setup with the flap and spoiler setting in addition for, or and with a gear lever kind of another extension accessories to be combined together. So yeah, this one is for the controller, the flight control only, the side stick. There's so the buttons here 12 and 4 of them up here. So one here, there's like a trigger. I think this one is for the comm in the airline and used for the comm communications, so engaging the comm. And there's another addition here, not available in the real Airbus though. There's another on top of it. There's another button that you can use. I'm using this, for example, to trigger some scripted first officer or pilot communications or process using several add-ons or mods that are available in the market. Yeah, so this one is 1, 2, 3, and 4 plus the 8-way heads here. This is the 8-way head switch, so you can use this one to control your view. This one for autopilot definitely. This one usually for reset my VR view, and yeah, this one is for communication or scripted communications. Yeah, and the feel of this joystick is quite nice. It's have a long travel compared to, let's say, Logitech 3D Extreme 3D Pro, for example, is very limited kind of axis movement. This one is quite far, quite wide angle, so you can have more precisions in terms of your control. So of course you have in every joystick you have to use a curve if you want to have more precisions, but these have longer stroke for roll and for pitch and roll, so you have more control on the accuracy. So it's very nice. So compared to the other joystick, like even like Sidec X55, X56, I guess this might have a long throw in my opinion. Okay, so you can have more precisions. Also, in the stick, it is having a rudder twist. However, it has unique features that it can be locked mechanically, not only with software. You can disable or make it flat curve, for example, for if you don't want to use the rudder. But here you can lock it. There's a mechanic here, like a D10, like you can push up from below or push down from top. So if you push up the lock, it can twist, okay. But if you push down from top the lock, it won't turn. Basically, it lock mechanically. Of course, you have to still make it a flat curve or you disable the rudder, because I think even with the slight movement, they still can change a bit. Of course, you can put some dead zone or something in the joystick calibration or systems configuration. But again, you better make it flat and then you lock this one if you don't want to use. So at least you don't feel there's a rudder, a twist rudder kind of features. So it's nice because in Logitech Extreme 3D Pro you don't have that feature, so you can still twist. Of course, you can disable it in software, but again, your hand like twisting, yeah, during the manipulation of this joystick. Sidetech also have a twist rudder, but they don't provide the lock. Okay, so this one provide the lock, so it's a nice features in my opinion. Uh, Yeah, I think that's the only things that I can say. Yeah, it's here you can say there is a small switch. Sorry, this is a sticker here, but there's a left hand, right hand. So if you use left hand, you have to uh, uh, put the switch on the left hand. Okay, if you click the right hand, you replace the button there. It will be right hand. At least the software will know, and I think it will be auto configure in the MSFS 2020, for example. Okay, so this is Thrustmaster TCA Joystick Airbus Edition. They use definitely a hard or they use a hard technology, the Hall effect, I guess, accurate kind of contactless sensors. But I think they use only 14-bit. The more expensive one using 16-bit. But in my opinion, 16-bit is too much overkill, I guess. This one is 14-bit for pitch and roll. Yeah, so that is the technology. The good, I think, is a good resolution, enough for flight simming. Nice build, ambidextrous. Definitely, you can put it left side, right side, or pilot monitoring or pilot filing, flying, pilot uh, flying and monitoring side, and then. Cuy, cookbook. Okay, so I think my camera just turned off. Okay, I don't need video, so just turn it off. So it's proven platform because it's used T16000 joystick has been quite popular and have a good resolutions and kind of nice. Doesn't have any. It doesn't have any like center strong center detent. Like you have to have a lot of strength to move from center. It's not. It doesn't have that one. It's nice, though the spring is quite heavy, but it doesn't have a kind of like um, you know. Sidec X55 has a very distinct feel when you move your stick out of the center. This one is smooth, although it's quite strong and the kind of medium-sized spring, I guess. Yeah, but it's nice. And then not so expensive. I think it's quite affordable, although it's not as cheap as the Logitech Extreme 3D Pro, but it's not that expensive either. The Thrustmaster software, I think, is quite proven. The cons is only it's plastic. It's plastic built, and yeah, I think it's not as durable as the Thrustmaster Warthog, Hottest Warthog kind of all metal build, kind of those things. Um, I wish they built the all metal one too, but yeah, it's probably too expensive. Okay. So who's this for? Definitely, it's good to be used for like explain for MSFS 2020, especially imitating the Airbus lineup because it's built for Airbus lineup for A320, A330 or something, whatever. As long as it's using the same side stick models. Yeah, it's for Airbus, but you can use it for other aircraft, I guess. But it's not suitable for combat simulator. Okay, I think for jet fighters in combat simulator because it doesn't have like it's very specific because you don't have like armament selections or yeah. So like you can the trimming you can use the head switch, but other function is then gone, right? You cannot use for the view or for selecting armaments. That's it. So it's not going to be suitable for combat simulator kind of stick. Okay, this only for airlines. Definitely good. Space sim, I think you can use it with limited function of configurable buttons in the stick. and you can have two of them, right and left, right? So I think people use that also. It's quite cheap. You can buy two of them, and then you can use it left and right to control your space aircraft. So that is this 4. I think it's quite an entry to mid-level kind of stick. So it's not quite expensive. And I think you will be definitely need a throttle because the throttle here is not meant for a serious simmer. But yeah, so it's really nice with the lockable twist rudder and everything. So it's much more configurable. Although it's meant for airline, especially Airbus, but yeah, you can use it for other general aviation aircraft. Okay, so that is TCA side stick Airbus editions. So hopefully you can get some information about this, and I really enjoy using this in my Microsoft FS 2020 flight simulator. I really enjoy flying the A320 Neo NX. Actually, the mods that free mod that is available is very nice aircraft. To fly and to learn how the procedures in instrument flying and landing using ILS. A very nice experience as the commercial airline pilots do. So yeah, so this is my favorite joystick right now. Before this, I'm using the Logitech Extreme 3D Pro on the left side, and then the Thrustmaster Warthog throttle on the right side. Of course, it's quite awkward, but once I bought a TCA Airbus Edition officer pack, so they come with this joystick and the throttle quadrants. I'm now using it for my A320neo flying. Of course, combined with my DIY cockpit as usual for A320neo. Also, I've built the spoilers, switch, flap switch, parking brake switch, landing gear levers, and also the upfront controllers, the autopilot controllers, rotary switch, so I can control heading, altitude, and vertical speed from that controllers via FSU IPC software. So anyway, so I have another video on that one. You can find it up here on my A320neo cockpit. Okay, so hopefully that useful, and see you next time.